Hi, this is Brian speaking. And this is gonna be my video for Lost on a Lifeboat. So I'm gonna go down the list. So number one, excuse me. So I have the minister. He's a 25-year-old male, and he has a calming effect. I decided to keep him just because, for the sake of this tragedy that we're gonna be going through, I feel like we really need somebody that's gonna calm us down in a very hectic situation. Number two, I got the electrical engineer. She's a female, and she's able to fix a radio if it's able to be fixed. I also decided to keep her just because I'm gonna take the chance and keep her, just because what if the radio could be fixed? We only have the opportunity. The chances are low, but I would rather take a hit for the squad. And the third one is the Olympic swimmer. The Olympic swimmer, I decided to keep him as well. Just for the sake of the boat. I'm not sure what's the boat situation is going to be like. I'm sure we're going to need to get rid of some of the items in the boat, like wood. Something about the boat we have to get rid of so we can make equipment for the needs that we're going to be needing. So food and sources like that. So I decided to keep him just because I know this boat is going to be very hectic. Then number four, I don't know what's the gender. So this person is a doctor. They are married and have 3 kids at home. They are 35 and is known for stealing food for herself. I decided to get rid of her just because we can't take any chances of pretty much somebody else taking our only food source just for the sake of somebody's, I don't know, what do you call that? Starvation, and also just because she's a doctor, we don't know what type of doctor she is. In my mind, I learned this through the class a couple weeks ago, literally last week, where apparently there's a lot of doctors. It doesn't have to be like an actual doctor, like what do you call that? And like an actual doctor. When you think of a doctor, you think of a hospital. There's a lot of doctorates all around the world. So that's an interesting fact that I learned last week. The fifth one, I think I decided to keep him. He's a male artist. He's widowed, and he is able to tell us so many stories about his past, which seems very exciting. And as the only entertainment purposes, my bad. I decided to keep him just because we have no technology. We have nothing around us. So having entertainment is not gonna hurt. Number 6, the Navy captain, divorced. I also decided to keep him just because he is a retired 70-year-old, and I feel like he would be no help, but I feel like he will be able to give us some order in the boat. Then number 7, the nurse. I decided to keep them as well. She's a female. She's actually a nurse. She's able to help other individuals through the situation in case we need some sort of, I don't know, CPR. Number 8, I decided to keep her as well. She's a pregnant lady. She's unmarried. She's 27. Is a immigrant and is a prostitute. I decided to keep her just because I feel like this would be able to challenge her life a little bit more. Not in a bad way, but also in a good way, just because I feel like some of us individuals need a little push in life of how the outcome of something could happen, So I feel like this will motivate her to actually have the kid and just do better for herself and for the little kid that she's going to be having. So sometimes we need a little push, and sometimes that push has to be really cruel. Number 9, he's a teenage Mexican-American, age 13, epileptic, and he's a gang member. I decided to get rid of him. He is young, but I feel like I can't even pronounce that, epileptic. I feel like he's gonna die just because that sounds scary. I don't know what it is, but I feel that sounds scary. Number 10, his name is Rabbi. He's a male, age 40, and has survival courses. I decided to keep him just because he has survival courses, and I feel with the other partner there was a conflict between this one and another person. I feel like we need more survival instincts in this situation than conflict. So that's why I decided to keep him. Number 11, he's a campus militant, black, age 21. She's a female, is a home economic major on bill with trial of terrorist activities. I think, yeah, I got rid of this person just because I don't really see a big future for her, and I feel like, I don't know, I decided to get rid of her just because I saw the word terrorist activities, and that's kind of scary, you know. Next one would be the scientist, Iraq, marine biologist, married with 2 kids, and refuses to see if Robbie stays. I decided to get rid of this person just because, again, we don't need any conflict, and I feel like even though he does have a good background about being a marine biologist, I feel like there isn't really much to do but just to pray that we get some help, you know. Besides the fact, I feel like we're in a boat. How is he gonna, he's probably gonna know what ocean we are, but how are we gonna, like, what are we gonna do with him, you know? There's no fresh water. It's literally in the middle of the sea. And for the fishes, I feel like the fishes are not going to be at the tip, like literally on the ocean, right? I feel like they're going to be more down, which is you know, reasonable, but to say the least, I feel like he's very unnecessary, even though he's pretty much an expert in the ocean, you know. Like, his scientists and survival skills don't really, you know. Okay. Number 13, he's a youngster male, age 7, only child, parents killed in an explosion. I decided to keep him just because I feel like this will motivate him more in the future, you know. He's like, I lost this and I did this and I survived. I feel like the only reason I survived is just because my parents were looking after me in heaven, you know. That's a very good example of why I kept him. So I feel like he will have a very good, bright, good future from humbling roots. So next person would be the housewife. This needs no explanation. She's a constant complainer. I got rid of her just because even though she has kids and she's married, I feel like if you're gonna be a bitch, I'm literally gonna get rid of you, because yeah, you have your 2 kids, but like, get out, you know. Number 15, he's an ex-con, 31-year-old, armed robbery, male, unmarried, 2 children, white, only one able to sit the sail on the lifeboat, strong member of the Iran Brotherhood, while in prison, crewed on an American Cup sailor, sailboats in 10 years. So I decided to keep him just because of the common sense situation here. He is the only one to be able to to actually turn on the lifeboat, and I feel that's the only reason, just because I feel like he's the only one that seems to be the use. Not so useful, but it's useful at the same time, just because he's able to turn on the boat. And yeah, that is my loss in a lifeboat.